Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody's opinion of you determine yourself.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Let That Marinate podcast. Man, it's been a minute. I haven't did a podcast in a minute. Been busy, you know what I'm saying? Just, doing my thing and, just staying busy and staying out of the way. That's what it is. Man, it's so much to talk about though. You know what I'm saying? So much to talk about. I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the REMY and Pap situation, but man, a lot of messy stuff going on with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not know they were going through marital problems until a lot of drama was put out. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm gonna be honest that it's not about who's right or who's wrong in this situation. It's more so about both just finding peace and happiness. That's what it's about. That's what it should be about. It should be about them moving on and just being happy. Like Pap is in a relationship, Remy is in a relationship. So I'm like, what how does their new partner feel about all this messy drama going on? Right? Like how do they feel about all this that's taking place? That's been my whole mindset about it. Because I'm like, I can understand if they were both still single and they're going through all of this drama, but they both have they have a new partner. They're both in relationships, right? So it's like you're bringing them into a messy situation. So it's like, how do like what's their mindset about all this, right? And that's the thing about divorce. Divorce is never a divorce is never an easy thing. You just can't say, yeah, because I'm divorced, I can just move on and just be happy or whatever. No, it's not that simple, especially when, children are involved, because I believe Pap and Remy has a daughter together, right? So of course it's not gonna be an easy transition. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna be a easy transition. You're gonna have to also factor in how this will affect your child, right? So imagine, you know, going through all this craziness and your child being in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that can't be, an easy thing. Like that's definitely something that you have to consider, right? But, at the end of the day, man, it's like, listen, man, I just wish Pap and Remy nothing but the best. I wish both of them peace and happiness. You know what I'm saying? They both deserve it. I know Remy deserves it because being dealing with what she's dealt with and overcoming those things. I'm sure she's ready to have some peace. Even with Pap, Pap been through some things too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he's ready to finally have some peace and some happiness. And I think they both deserve it. I think they both deserve it, regardless of what happened, in their marriage, and that's none of our business to get into what happened, with their marriage. Um, Basically, we just have to, keep them both in our prayers, you know what I'm saying? And just wish nothing but the best for both of them. You dig? Um, but that's the thing though, when divorce is never an easy thing. Breakups is never an easy thing, especially when you've invested so much into that person and into that relationship. It's never easy when when it comes to an end. It's never easy to deal with that. It's not. It's just it's hard. It's hard to fathom not being with that person anymore. You know, so I get it. Remy and Pap, they're still struggling. They're still battling with the fact that they're no longer together. Because keep in mind they were, um, they were endorsing the whole black love thing, and we were all with it. We were all for it. Black love matters, and it still does. Black love matters. It still does, but it's just hard when the ones who created that movement, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to continue to follow that when the ones who created that movement, they're no longer the ones endorsing it, right? It's hard. It's tough. But at the end of the day, yes, black love still matters. Black love still exists. Love still exists. No matter what, love still exists. Yes, we all go through some challenging times. But at the end of the day, love still matters. Black love still matters. And we're going to continue to make this thing grow. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all want that. We all want love. We all want it. So we're not just going to stop because of, what one couple has been through. No. We're going to continue, you know, we're going to continue that movement. Black love. Black love still matters, right? But my thing is this. Um instead of criticizing Remy or criticizing Pap, let's just send out love. Let's send good vibes and positive energy to both sides. Because again, at the end of the day, we don't know what happened behind closed doors. We don't know what went on. We have no idea, right? We don't know what caused the marital problems. We don't know. So all we can do is just wish them nothing but the best, wish them nothing but love, peace, and happiness, right? Wish nothing but love, peace, and happiness for their baby girl. I believe they had a daughter. Um, that's all we can do. We don't necessarily have to dig deeper and find out what happened. We don't have to do any of that. We don't have to, like, whether you want to be on Remy's side or whether you want to be on Pap's side, whatever. It's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, we should be more focused on just sending both of them nothing but good vibes and positive energy. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of us who are struggling with relationships, struggling with marriages, and we're all trying to figure out how to get through it the best way that we can, right? And it's always going to be a struggle. It's always going to be a struggle when we pay attention to what's going on social media or whatever, as opposed to us just focusing on our own personal relationships, right? It's always going to be an issue for us when we don't focus on our own relationships and figuring out what we need to do to make our relationships better, and what we need to do to make our relationship work. We got to stop looking at all these relationships and whatever else is going on social media. We got to stop that. We got to stop putting all our energy, you know, trying to figure out how things can work, you know, based on what we see on social media. No, make your relationship work, make your marriage work based on how you and your partner operates. You have to work that out with your partner and your spouse. Like listen to your partner. They will tell you everything they will tell you everything that you need to know in order to help things get better. You just have to be willing to listen to it. You have to be open to listen to what your partner says, right? Because whatever is causing a disconnect, whatever is causing them to feel the way that they feel, if you listen to them, they will tell you what is causing that. And I promise you, if you just take the time to listen to them, like actually be willing to open up and receive what they're saying and understand what they're saying, things would be a whole lot better. But you have to be willing to listen. You have to be open enough to receive what they're saying. See, part of the reason why things don't work out is because most people are not willing to receive what their partner is saying. They're letting their egos get in the way, right? But you want to you want things to be better, but you're not taking the time to actually receive what they're saying to actually help with making things better. So at some point, you have to allow yourself to receive and be open enough to receive what's needed in order to understand. And you have to be willing to understand. So yeah, man. So shouts out to Papu, shouts out to Remy Ma, shouts out to anybody going through a tough time in their relationship, in their marriage. Shouts out to anybody that's struggling right now. I'm praying for you. I'm sending good vibes and positive energy to you because I'm sure it is tough. But if I could offer any kind of advice, my advice is you're if you really want your marriage, if you really want your relationship to work, then put in the work to make it work. You have to be willing to make it work. Both have to be willing to make it work. Can't just be one person. Can't just be one sided. You both have to be willing to make it work. And I promise you, if you're both willing to put in the work, then yes, it's going to work. But you both have to be willing to make it work. You can't keep holding your partner's imperfections over their heads. You can't keep pointing out where they messed up. You can't keep pointing out their mistakes. You can't. You can't keep holding that against them. Because if they're trying to make up for what they did, then allow them to do so. If they've owned up and acknowledged that, yes, they made a mistake, they messed up, okay, then let it go. Let it go. Allow them to correct what they did. Allow them to, just make up for what they did. Yes, of course, they may have been the ones that have messed up. Okay, cool. But you can't be the one to hold it against them either. You can't keep hanging it over their head. You can't keep reminding them of what they did, right? If you want it to work, then allow them to do their part to make it work. You also have to do your part to make it work as well, right? So just get back to loving each other. Get back to, you know, being there for one another in spite of everything that y'all been through, right? Just get back to loving each other, man. It's sad to see Remy Ma and Papoose going through what they're going through. It's sad to see all the messiness that's going on, and I wish them nothing but the best. I wish them nothing but peace and happiness, and I hope at some point they can get over whatever it is that they're going through. And I'm sure it's a battle because we see it going on social media. You know, we see it. We see the even though we see the messiness going on, I see it as hurt. That's how I see it. Both are still hurting. Both are still struggling with the fact that they're no longer together. That's how I see it. Yes, they both may be in a new relationship, but at the same time, they're still struggling with the fact that they are longer together. And they're still hurting. They're still hurting. You know what I'm saying? So So much love to Pap and Remy. I'm praying nothing but, peace, prosperity, and happiness, regardless of what's going on. I hope that they can overcome what they've went through and what they're going through. I hope that they can get to a point to where they can just be happy with their lives. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's my podcast. That's what I wanted to come on here and talk about. I didn't want to get into the whole details of what's going on with Remy and Pap because we don't know. None of us know. We don't know what happened behind closed doors. All we know is what we see, and we see a lot that's going on social media, right? But at the end of the day, we just want we want them to be happy and just be at peace. That's really what it is. We just want them to be good because this right here, this isn't, this is the way to handle it. You know, just going on social media and exposing each other. That's not the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I really do pray all is well, and I hope things get better with them. Um, yeah, man, and that's what it is, man. So anyway, that's my time. It's been a minute since I did a podcast, so I felt the need to come on here and do this podcast. So anyway, appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Salute. Let that marinate.
Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine yourself.